Neighbor's toddler kept invading my space, so I sent him away, but I dislocated my knee by tripping on one of his toys. I live on the top floor of a house. It's a one-bedroom and my boyfriend and I chop and change it where we decide to stay for some weekends. He has a 7-year-old daughter, but she doesn't stay at mine because of the size, and the solid fact that we are not related, unless it's an emergency and she has nowhere else to go. She's visited. We've been together 4 years. Downstairs is an unassuming family. A father, police officer, a mother, profession unknown, and a toddler. They are fairly quiet and utilize the space at the back for the child to run and play while I typically use and maintain the front yard. I'm not a child person and I'd refuse their asks to babysit, but do say hello to the adults when I see them. I wave to the child too. The toddler is inquisitive. He tries to my open packages despite my saying how deeply inappropriate I find it. Just bring it in, put it by the stairs and tell the kid to leave it alone, and most recently he has left some tacky toys on the stairs and there hasn't been clean up. I've asked the parents to make their child tidy up because if I fall my insurance won't be the ones paying. I have a joint condition and injure easily, so don't need the extra worry of some idiotic toy cars everywhere. The child also has been constantly asking to go into my apartment to his mother, which she says oh my we at bye-bye, we see and ask. I've said no. I don't like children. I don't want one in my space, running their sticky hands over my things. I don't believe I owe them an explanation as to why I don't want their child stinking my place up. I don't believe I'm a teaching moment for their kid to learn boundaries and how he isn't entitled to go wherever he wants to. I shouted at him. Not only did he try to open yet another package, this one was a care package for my sisters as I live abroad, and screeched and cried me knee. To which, I turned and said no, it isn't yours. It is mine. Go away and find your parents. Before trying to ignore this pathetic tantrum and went inside. Only to be followed. Edit with him trying to hit and bite. I turned around and said fuck off you annoying little brat. Cry to someone who gives a fuck. I then tripped on one of his stupid little toy cars and dislocated my knee. The toy was destroyed as it became dented and scratched because I stepped on it. Of course the parents were horrified, but I have, thus far, refused to engage. I have also had my packages rerouted to my boyfriend's, but he lives on Lee and I live in Queens, so it's inconvenient. They called the landlord, who reminded them that the opening of mail not addressed to them is a felony. I'm sick and tired of parents who think their bratty children are entitled to go wherever they want, do whatever they want and touch whatever they want with their pinworm-infested hands. Just want to know though, for my own sanity, Ida? Edit, I wish I hadn't shouted at this child, but my limit of asking the stairs to be clear, my packages to be left alone and my right to space respected were constantly violated. I don't want to be bitten and hit by a toddler because he can't get his own way. I also said I wasn't a kid person, not that I hated them. Not particularly enjoying the company of toddlers doesn't mean my boyfriend picked an absolute monster. A 7-year-old isn't a toddler. She has some respect for my space and isn't a brat. Edit, I may have asked for judgment on the situation, but I didn't ask for judgment on my relationship. Jiggle your titties and flap those concerned vaginal lips elsewhere. The only person able to pass judgment on that is my boyfriend. Womp, womp ladies. Boyfriend, I am very aware of the situation, thank you. I have been caring for my girlfriend since her damn knee dislocated, or are you expecting physical perfection from her as well as emotional? So how could I not be aware of how she AC, Ted? I am also aware that this child attempted to bite and hit my girlfriend. As a parent myself, I have often warned my daughter that if she slaps me or my girlfriend, she has to accept we are bigger than her and may hurt her if we act instinctively as humans do when confronted with an attack or pain. No adult is perfect. I have screamed at my daughter on more than one occasion during misbehavior. I also accept my girlfriend is not perfect. She doesn't have to love kids, that's fine. She is however great with my daughter. She has never really been childish with her and spoke to her more like an adult, an equal, which I actually admire. Maybe no, she keeps drawings for my daughter. My daughter loves drawing the flowers in the front yard my girlfriend mentioned she maintains. She doesn't have to keep them. Keep your nose out and my daughter and I's name out of your mouth. How she acted with the child downstairs, however regrettable, is not how she acts with my child. As a parent even I would shout at a child acting aggressively. We are not required to like or love children that have no connection to us. From my standpoint, this kid needs a spanking and a good shouting at. So do the parents, quite honestly. Oop, you weren't there. Please don't twist things when you are not present. I escalated nothing. I took my parcel back and went inside. He followed and hit and made attempts to bite. I turned and shouted and then dislocated my knee on his toy. The escalator was the child. No one else. I wish I hadn't shouted, but I was pushed to my limit. Oop, I don't know why the child was outside unsupervised. I don't really care and it's not my problem. While I admit shouting was wrong, children also need to learn the consequences of horrible behavior like hitting and attempting to bite. They may get hit back or shouted at. The parents were asked multiple times to tell their child to leave my things alone and to keep the stairs clear. I lost it because their child was aggressive and this situation was weeks in the making. Update 1: I have since returned home from being cared for by my boyfriend and the issue has somewhat, though not quite, resolved. When I got back the first thing I saw was the child, 4 meters, playing on the steps up to my apartment with his toys. Furiously my boyfriend knocks on the door and tells the mother to stop this nonsense and if we see any toys on the steps again they will be thrown out. The child is removed, kicking and screaming. When we got back we brought with us a lockbox for my parcels. We had a conversation with our landlord who issued the family with a warning, as points of egress need to be kept clear and that allowing the child to fully open my packages is indeed illegal, though hardly able to be punished. Accidents do happen, I am aware, but they don't happen more than 3 times. I also passed on my insurance bill to them because I refused to pay for being in an accident that was wholly preventable by them. I'm also in PT for my knee and back and I'm not paying for that either. The door leading to the stairs of my upstairs apartment has been fixed so the child cannot play there. This has upset the mother in particular who fully said I want to teach my child that everyone loves and accepts him. I don't love your child. I replied, something to this effect, he doesn't mean anything to me beyond the fact he is the child of my neighbors. You don't love me, do you? You didn't even listen when I expressed concern about toys on the steps or your child constantly throwing tantrums when I take my packages from him. I honestly couldn't believe the entitlement. The father was not happy with our responses to each other but didn't speak up. We left it at that and later, like a few days, I am sitting outside with my boyfriend and his child, 7F, as they played with a frisbee. The downstairs child comes over trying to play, BF's child says no, fair, she just wanted to play with her dad Al. 1, and he is told to go back inside, because we are not responsible for some random 4-year-old. The kid pitches a fit so my boyfriend goes to knock on the door to ask the mother to come get him. She insists we play with him. We insist we are not obligated to do so. The child has already hit my BF's kid and she angrily shoved him over, gave him a slap back, and screamed to go away and he ruined their game. Immediately my BF goes over to his child and tells the other one to go to his mom. We point blank refused to entertain this child and told them to leave us alone. If BF's child was okay playing with the downstairs child neither of us would have intervened. She didn't though. She also shouldn't be forced to play with an aggressive and, quite frankly, vile little boy. I'm glad she slapped him actually. Since then the child has left us alone. Now I was wondering before this if I was the but quite honestly I know for a fact no one would blame my BF's child for lack of emotional control, so why blame a child-free adult who has reached a limit? The situation as explained in my original post was weeks in the making. I've also read a few other posts about parents screaming at their children and it's all why ura be ya utai fool ma ma br. Don't be it yo or say lf up. We prnts are not pr effect. So then, why is a child-free adult suddenly a monster for not offering some random brat endless patience? Your bitchy baby isn't entitled to anything from others, let alone free care, endless patience, when even you can't offer that, attention and love. That's on you. Thank you to those who actually could read between the lines and didn't think I was a psycho for not enjoying childish behavior or losing it with him. I'm going to watch my BF's child draw some flowers in the front yard now. I'm not sure about being able to get your bill paid though.